having me. We're knocking on that door. It's hurting, but we're close.
We just had Drew Brees on, and we asked him about not being able to wear a helmet and shoulder pads, and you guys got even closer than they did, and for 2 straight years.
It's tough, but as a competitor, it's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to sting. But I feel like we have a great group, trying to keep as many guys as possible. Trust our management and our great owner, Woody Johnson, to assemble another great team and make another run at it.
Now, you had a bone to pick with Trent and I. This goes back to the beginning of the year.
Jamie's starting out quick.
The beginning of the year.
Right.
You know, we had a little poll, you know, now they have us answer questions. You know, the question was, which young quarterback would you take? And so, I don't know who Trent, who you picked. I think I might have taken Sam.
No, it was just two. It was just between
Was it two?
Stafford.
It was right before the Detroit game.
Okay.
Before the Detroit game. It was burned in there. It was 7-4.
Yeah, it was between Matthew Stafford and Mark Sanchez.
I was expecting at least a split decision. And I was 0 for 2.
0 for 2. And you told Karen Anderson what?
I said, you better tell Jamie. I said.
That's exactly right. That's right. But the thing that I said, you know, that you know, to your credit is that, you know, you've had 2 phenomenal years. And it seems like the pressure, you know, you've been up and down, young quarterbacks would do that. But it seems like when the pressure's on, you've been able to play pretty good. What is it about your game? Is it do you get settled in, or what's the difference?
I think it is just getting settled in under tougher circumstances. You play on the road in an adverse environment. It brings out the best in you if you're competitive, and that's the way I am. Now it's about staying consistent. That's going to be one of the goals. And I'm lucky enough to have Drew Brees near me in this offseason in California. I've worked with a guy like Mark Brunell, trying to stay consistent with my routine. And those are the things that I have lined up this offseason to help me improve. But when it comes to pressure situations, I seem to thrive so far, and a lot of that's due to the coaching, having the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row, Rex Ryan trusting me, and the great players we have. So.
And really, that's been the biggest thing for me. And first of all, I never made it to an AFC Championship game, let alone lead a team to 2 in a row your first 2 years in the league. So congratulations for that. But the thing that I've pointed out is just the consistency factor. Like you said, you get to a point in your career where you want the offense on your shoulders. You want to lean on your shoulders. And I think there's a learning curve that everybody goes through. And I think that's an important mark for you. You touched on it, how you're going to address it this offseason. Has the pressure of playing at USC, being under the microscope in a city like Los Angeles, has that helped prepare you for New York and the pressure of being under the microscope there?
Absolutely. It's been a great stepping stone, but there is nothing like New York. The constant scrutiny on and off the field, you know, it's...
you guys were in the headlines once or twice this year.
A couple times.
Yeah.
It is a white-hot spotlight, and it's fun. I welcome it. I'm embracing it and learning, trying to own it, you know, and like you want to own your offense, own the team, and really make it yours. You got to do that with this pressure, so it's good.
But as a young quarterback, were you excited that HBO was following you guys around at training camp? Because going into your second training camp, coming off of the AFC Championship game, I would think you would want some of that stuff you want behind closed doors because you're still in the learning process. So was that a good experience, a bad experience?
I was a little hesitant about it, and I wasn't afraid to voice that. I just said, hey, look, you know, I hope it's not a distraction. I'm coming off a knee surgery. I'm confident I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be better this year. But some of that stuff is out there, you know, and it's really between coaches and players, and now the fans get a chance to see it. So it's a great learning experience. I thought the best part about it was the fans got to see us, real, live, all that, and nobody really hammed it up. Nobody tried to fake it. Everybody was themselves, and there were plenty of characters anyway, so I just kind of stayed to the back.
I think that was very clear.
Yeah, it was easy.
You look at, you know, you talk about how tough it is to play in the New York media, and do you think that's one of the main reasons you guys are set and poised to be a team the last couple of years to go on the road and win playoff games?
Absolutely, it has to help. You know, it has to play into that. I think we've played so well on the road. The toughest part is 5 of our last 6 games were on the road. Pittsburgh twice, Foxborough twice, at New England twice, Chicago. If we can just get one of those home playoff games, I mean, it could make a huge difference. That could be our next step in getting to the Super Bowl. So it definitely helps our situation.
Talk a little bit about your coach. I think that, you know, people get caught up in the rhetoric, and they get caught up in, you know, his way, and not recognize the substance of how, number one, a heck of a football coach he is, but what a great coaching mind and a great leader of men.
Absolutely. He's one of the toughest guys you'll ever find, competitive as can be. He loves his players, and he'll stick up for us. everything he says for media is what he says to the team. It's not a front. It's not some masquerade he puts on for a camera and then comes back to us and says, hey, man, we're in tough this week. When he says we're going to kick someone's butt, he means it, and he'll say it to your face. So he's real, he's honest, brutally honest at times. So it's a good situation for us, and we totally respect him. We'll do anything for Coach.
You don't get to play in Super Bowl 45, but you're here in Dallas taking in the experience here, which might help you somewhere down the road when you guys do get to the big game. What's in the offseason plans for you?
I'm actually partnered with Degree this year again, not because of my sense, but because they have a great cause going this offseason, and it's you can log on to degreemen.com. Basically what they're doing is, if you followed our season, which you guys have, fourth quarter comebacks, we've had overtime wins, road games that we won in the playoffs, all this adrenaline rush, right? Well, we're trying to keep it going. With me and Degree, we're challenging the fans, saying, hey, log on to degreemen.com, vote on an off-season challenge for me to partake in. So there's cage diving with sharks, there's a NASCAR pit crew that I could be a part of, or training with firefighters to fight a fire.
Oh, the sharks.
The sharks.
I'm voting right now for the sharks.
Can I throw one out there? MMA with Harrison?
There you go.
James Harrison, how about
We're not
that?
taking any new ideas. So you log on online, you vote, and every vote, Degree is offered to donate to National Fallen Firefighters Association, so it makes it a great cause. Gives me something to do with a potential lockout coming, so I'll be ready to go.
Wow,
I'm just
you
saying.
brought it up. Well, we're all talking about it today,
Lockout, swimming with sharks, cage diving with sharks. Which one?
As long as there's a cage, I'm good. No cage, I'm out.
But speaking of the offseason, your relationship with Brian Schottenheimer over the last couple of years, as a young quarterback, they don't necessarily want your opinion or let you voice your opinion, but now going into your third year, you guys have made it to the championship game 2 years in a row. Do you anticipate this offseason, the two of you being able to up that communication and let him know what you feel more comfortable with and be a little bit more aggressive in what you want called?
Sure, and that comes with growth. That comes with getting comfortable in these last couple of years, just from year one to year two. Looking at the old game plans when we played Indy the second time here, and just looking at the play calls and how much more simple they were, it just blew my mind. Like, oh my God, look what we used to do, look what we're doing now. Hopefully next year's that same big jump, and I'm confident it will be. We have a great relationship. I'm excited to work with him.
Well, talk to Woody about bringing those two receivers home.
I know. I think we're gonna put them together. One contract, Braytonio, home words. One contract, two players on game day.
He's thinking like a GM, as a quarterback on top of everything. How about a prognosticator? We got to let you go. About 10 seconds. Got to pick.
My gut is the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is playing really well right now. He's hot. I think he's gonna win.